Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. And today I want to share with you my skincare betrayals. This is a trend that I've seen going around the skincare space, and I want to add my voice in because you know I always have some thoughts to get off my chest. So today I want to share with you for sure some products that have betrayed my skin, but also some marketing things, ingredients, formulations, and just downright tomfoolery that goes around the skincare space that has betrayed me. So if you're so ready, definitely hit subscribe if you want to see me get some more thoughts off of my chest about skincare. Come join our skincare community. But also give the video a big thumbs up, buckle up, get a snack, enjoy, and let's start the video. One of my betrayals that really gets to me because it hits me in a real personal place is all of the marketing around barrier skincare, because this has become a catch-all term to sell skincare products. And look, here's the thing. I'm really excited that there is more information, more education, and more products that are addressing weak or damaged moisture barriers. Back in 2018, I effed up my skin barrier. I would say a weak moisture barrier, a damaged moisture barrier. No, at this time I broke my skin barrier. And there was not a lot of information, not a lot of education, and very few products that meaningfully addressed this issue. And I struggled because of the void of this type of information. And I eventually felt my way through it, but it was like stumbling in a dark room trying to find the door. And I eventually found the door, but you all, we don't all have this energy and this drive to stumble through a dark room to find the door to figure this out, right? So I'm so glad that with skincare becoming so much more popular, so many people getting more interested in it, and so much more education and information coming out, that there is so much more knowledge about the skin barrier. Not only that, but a focus on keeping it healthy and strong. This is a good thing. But anytime there's a good thing going around the skincare space, anytime something gets popular, meaningful, views, virality, skincare brands, marketing is going to come along and they're going to use that to make money. And that is just the name of the game, is capitalism, baby, right? And I can't be mad at a little bit of capitalism, but at the end of the day, they are using the term barrier as a catch-all phrase for really what they just mean is like glowing skin, healthy skin, bright skin. And a lot of these products actually contain ingredients that are detrimental to your skin barrier. Fragrances, essential oils, drying forms of alcohol, things that exfoliate your skin, like chemical exfoliating ingredients, sometimes the exfoliating enzymes, just a boatload of things that if your skin barrier is already weak or damaged, these types of ingredients, on the whole, not necessarily bad, okay? I have a nuanced take on these things. Not on the whole are necessarily bad, but if you do have a weak or damaged moisture barrier and you're looking to heal that, you know how important it is. You know that it is probably causing a lot of acne, dehydration, skin sensitivity, redness, irritation, burning or stinging on your skin, general discomfort. And you know, because we have more information now, that your skin barrier is what needs to be strengthened. You may be going to the store saying, this is a barrier serum. This says it strengthens the skin barrier. It soothes your skin barrier. And you buy them because you trust that those words mean that they're going to meaningfully help your weak or damaged moisture barrier. I've actually recently gotten irritation from a barrier serum from Cocokind. I've talked about this quite a bit. I think it's actually a nice product, but it does contain some chemical exfoliation, and using a product like that, 2 times a day actually did weaken my skin barrier. And that's just my skin, and that's something I know about my skin. But the thing is, unless you're ready and willing to become an ingredient list detective and hunt down every single ingredient, and I am, and I still missed it. Got a little lazy in my reading at the store, but it's really easy to miss these types of ingredients if you're not on top of things. And I don't think everybody should be expected to be an ingredient list decoder, right? It should not have to be something you need to do in order to get a product that doesn't irritate your already damaged or weak skin. Another one that fits into this category that really made me mad is the Shani Darden Nourishing Signature Facial Mask. So while the word barrier doesn't appear in the name of this product, in the description and marketing of this product, they claim that this is a clay mask that calms stressed skin, is clinically shown to visibly reduce redness while restoring a compromised skin barrier. Now, this is pretty specific language in my personal opinion. Compromised skin barrier, weak or damaged skin barrier, not just keeps your barrier strong or strengthens your barrier, but is specifically referring to a skin barrier that is not in a optimal, strong, or healthy condition, right? So this is a wash off mask. It's clay based. It's kind of interesting. You kind of whip it up. It's got a really interesting, like, kind of fluffy texture for a clay mask. And this burned the living daylights out of my skin. I was using it to actually soothe my skin after being out in the sun for quite a while. This was during the summer, and I was in the sun. It was very hot, and I had been sweating, and sweat does tend to make my skin feel just a little bit more sensitized. So I usually like to do something that feels calming, anti-inflammatory, something that feels kind of restorative for my skin after a sweaty, sesh out in the sun. And so I washed my face and I put this mask on thinking, okay, this is going to help restore my skin and I'll just do my regular skincare routine. No biggie. This is how I've always approached this state of my skin, and it usually works out just fine. And so I put the mask on, and I don't remember what I was doing. Maybe I was like filing my nails or something, because I remember it was pretty shortly after I had put it on, and I was like, my skin is like kind of stinging right now. Like it's kind of low key heating up. Like I feel heat on my skin. You know, when you're like trying to debate, like what you're trying to figure out, you're running through your decoder, like what is going on right now? Because my skin is like increasingly feeling heated up, burning, stinging. And I was like, this isn't right. This isn't good. This isn't just normal, like irritation from sweat. Something's going on. So I was like, I got to wash this off. Like it hurts. It hurts. I washed off. My skin was all red. And I was like, it was not red before. I was like, what is going on here? So I washed it all off of my face, and I already started to feel better just getting it off of my face. And then I just did the rest of my skincare routine, and my skin was still irritated, but it actually felt better when I put the rest of my products on. And then it felt a little off the next day. And then luckily I was fine. So it felt like almost like I was having like a irritation from contact with this mask. So I started to look into it a little bit more, and lo and behold, they have used a fragrant compound. Now, this one's tricky because it's not listed as fragrance or perfume, and it's not an essential oil, and it's actually not a very commonly used fragrant compound either. So it's really easy to, if you're scanned for fragrance, it's really easy to miss this one. But this is one of those fragrant compounds that is so concentrated that has the potential to create allergic reaction within the skin that it does actually have to be listed separately. You know, my thing is, why in the world would you claim in the marketing that your mask is soothing, but also that it's specifically marketed for a compromised skin barrier, and you're including this type of ingredients that can cause this much irritation on compromised, vulnerable, sensitive skin? Like, it just doesn't compute to me at all. Why in the world would you do it? Oh, because you didn't actually make this mask for a compromised skin barrier. You made the mask for whatever, right? You made it, and I'm sure it's a great mask. You made the mask, and then after the fact, you marketed it to folks with a compromised skin barrier because at the time, that was the biggest marketing term when this product came out. So you didn't even make this for people who are actually suffering with these problems. And like, here, do you hear me going? I'm really mad about this because, like I said, it hits a personal spot for me. If I put this on my skin when it was really compromised, holy moly, my skin would not have bounced back in 2 days. It would have probably taken over a week. And I hate that we are expected to be these types of decoders and these experts and these detectives, and we have to hunt this out just to know, is this actually going to help my compromised skin barrier like you're claiming, or is it actually going to actively harm it? Let's talk about this product. I think many of us here in this room have been betrayed by this one. This is the 30% glycolic acid peel from The Ordinary. And I know it is a little bit like cliche at this point to complain about this product burning your skin. It's so 2018 of me. I know, but you know what? I like a little vintage in my life. So let's go back to the vintage years. This product, let me tell you, I don't on the whole have a problem with this product. It definitely burned and irritated my skin, right? Absolutely, it did. And like I said, who in this room hasn't like had that experience with this product? A lot of us have, not everyone, I know, but a lot of us have had issues with the product. It is so dang potent. It is so strong. This is an aggressive form of AHA. Glycolic acid itself is one of the strongest, fastest acting, most potent version of AHA that you can use. Lactic acid is gentler, mandelic acid is gentler, but it is also one that can cause a lot of sensitivity on the skin. I mean, I use glycolic acid products today that are about 15%, so half of the percentage of this product from The Ordinary, and it stings. It feels like little pinpricks on my skin, and that's actually normal. That is common. That is to be expected when you use glycolic acid at high percentages. So just so you're aware of like where the aggressive factor lies with this ingredient, even at 15%, pinprick sensations are normal. So at 30%, double, like, whew, my goodness, we're getting almost into a professional percentage where things can go wrong very quickly. And so, like I said, yeah, have I burned my skin with this product? I absolutely did burn my skin for sure with this product. But I'm not really mad at the product. I guess I'm more mad at the fact that they just kind of throw you into the deep end with this product because there's not a lot of guidance. There's not a lot of warning. There's not a lot of good directions about how to use a product like this. And like I said, we really are inching into a territory where this almost needs to be dispensed by a professional, like almost. We're like not quite there, but like almost. And I think it is actually a really delicate balance to getting this right. And it's so quickly to get this one wrong. And so, really, where my betrayal on this is like, yeah, like in 2018 there was a lot less information, like I was saying, with the skin barrier, and so I just kind of like jumped into the deep end and just threw this all over my face and left it on too long and used it too often throughout the week, and that's on me. So I'm not mad at my old self, for doing that. I mean, I'm not mad necessarily at the product. I just think that there should be a little bit more guidance around this. I think that there should be much more complete directions. I think there should be a little bit more warning about something like this. And like it's there. I just don't think that I feel like we need to knock people over the head with this one. Like this is just too strong, and that's just my opinion. I know some folks will argue with me about that one and that they can use it responsibly. I know you can. I trust that you can. I just don't trust that everybody can. And I do wish that it was something that had a little bit more information and a little bit more caution around it. But at the end of the day, caution, information, complicated directions do not sell skincare products. Another betrayal is the obsession with vitamin C. I talked about this in a recent video where, I shared with you quite a few years ago, right around the time that I turned 30. This was the biggest and hottest ingredient, vitamin C. And, this was the ingredient that was being pushed as the ultimate anti-aging or well-aging product. And from more than a few sources, I heard, like, if you aren't using vitamin C by the time you're 30, like, you're kind of failing at skincare. Like, what are you doing, girl? Like, you need to get on this. And so this was actually an ingredient that I did try to incorporate into my skincare routine. I tried so hard. And it is actually one that I think was not the only ingredient or the only product, but it contributed to my broken skin barrier era where I actually was starting to talk about skincare here on YouTube. Vitamin C betrayed my skin, ascorbic acid specifically. This is actually just something that just does not suit my skin. And that is in and of itself not a betrayal, right? Like there are going to be ingredients that do work for some and do not work for others. And that is the best and worst thing about the skincare game, right? There are always going to be, those holy grail products that just don't work for us, or those great ingredients that just for whatever reason, whatever formula, whatever brand, whatever format, just do not suit our skin. Our skin is just like, never going to happen. Never. Ascorbic acid is one of those for me. I have played around with it since that era, like very casually and very sporadically with some success, but it's just one that just does not find a home in my skincare routine. And that's not a betrayal. That's just an individual thing, right? And I embrace my individuality, but what my betrayal is with that type of marketing, with that type of mindset. You must have a vitamin C in your routine by the time you're 30, or you're failing at skincare. skincare. And like, I think we're kind of doing the same thing with retinol right now. I think vitamin C is kind of taking a back seat in this type of marketing and this type of rhetoric to retinoids and tretinoin. I think tretinoin especially was the one that was pushed the most. And that's actually something that I used. And I think I stayed with that. I loved what tretinoin did for my skin. I have like a complicated relationship with tretinoin. I no longer use it for the last like 15 months now. But I think I stayed with it a little bit longer than I probably should have because of this mindset, because of this rhetoric, because of how it is presented in the skincare space as the ingredient, especially as somebody who has failed with vitamin C, right? So I think that we just need to be like cautious of this type of wording, this type of even mindset, really, because I know I even sometimes get pushback from commenters on my videos like, you're not using vitamin C. I said, oh no, it doesn't suit my skin. And then I get pushback from that, like, well, you know that that's like the best for this, that, and the other. I'm like, I know it's the best for that, but it's not the best for me. There is still like this very rigid mindset around these anti-aging or well-aging products. And it's like, I'm almost 37 and I do not use vitamin C, and like, I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine. I'm doing good. I'm happy with my progress. You know what I'm saying? And I use other things that do similar things, but actually suit my skin a lot better. The biggest betrayal here is really just that type of mindset, that rigid mindset, one ingredient or die. But I have to say also another betrayal is when you speak your truth on that and then other people push back on your truth. They're like, well, you're failing. It's like, okay, well, you can think whatever you want to think, but like, it's like, that's probably the worst of it all, is when and you stand in your truth and you're like, no, this is just me, and people still don't believe you. That's a different type of betrayal. But yeah, I really hate that rigid mindset. Let's talk about collagen powder real fast, because this wasn't necessarily a skin betrayal. This was like a mouth betrayal. Why are they so nasty? I hate these so much. They're so disgusting. And I know some folks who genuinely enjoy putting collagen powder into their morning coffee, or they're able to mask the taste in smoothies and whatnot. I'm just not one of those people. Like, I love my morning coffee. It 1000% alters the taste of my coffee. My coffee is my morning ritual. You know what I mean? Like, it is a very special moment in my day, and I try to savor it, and collagen powder absolutely ruins it. No matter the brand, no matter the source, it just always ruins it for me. And I'm just not into it. Collagen powder, it's one of those will it, won't it kind of skincare products. This is a consumable, but it has been marketed to the skincare space now for a while for its potential to help with the structure of collagen for the skin, for fine lines, wrinkles, skin elasticity, all of that, right? I think it is a little bit more proven in the data for joints. And so I'm not knocking that at all, especially folks who need that to supplement their diet for joint health. Do what you got to do. As far as like consuming it for skincare benefits, data's kind of all over the place with that. Does it? Does it not? I don't know. And I generally am somebody who falls into the category of like, I'll try anything, like throw it at my face, I'll try it. I love to just see what things can do for me. I have a very open mind about that. But you know what I mean? Like, my mouth is a little different. And with the data being so inconclusive on skin benefits, it's not worth it for me to suffer. You know what I mean? Like, life is too short to suffer through something that makes me so miserable. And I have to say, one of the worst ones is the vegan collagen, especially the ones that are derived from fish. Oh man, it's been years and I can still taste it. The aftertaste in my mouth of the fish, the fish collagen. It's just a betrayal of my mouth. Like, it's just not worth it. It's just not. So I listed a few products already throughout the video, but I just want to give you a quick hit list of a few other ones that I just need to get off of my chest. The Fenty lip gloss. Okay, this was a while ago, but like, this one hurt because I really liked this lip gloss. It was so cute. It was so like shiny and sparkly and gorgeous. And I loved how it looked and how it felt and how it wore. I felt so good in this lip gloss, but girl, this triggered the worst lip eczema for me. Oh, it was so bad. This is loaded with all those fragrant compounds, right? And I am just so prone to eczema around my lips that this just triggered it up. I got all scaly and oozy and it was not cute. Let's talk about the Anua cleansing oil, because OMG, I started to use this earlier in the year. It gave me the weirdest pimple right under my eye. what, I don't get pimples under my eye. I got a pimple under my eye and it lasted for like a month. And then the hyperpigmentation from that lasted for like 3 or 4 months. Like it was just the strangest pimple in the weirdest spot. And this product has broken out so many people, like kind of similar stories, like in the weirdest places. It's just the strangest product. I think the hype around it is so manufactured. It also kind of made my skin burn and tingle. Just on the whole, I just think I just hate it so much. And I wish more people would say that they hate it. Like skincare reviewers would say that they hate it, right? Because real people are saying that they hate it. Some people do enjoy it, and I'm so glad that it works for you. I honestly am. But there are so many people who have bad experiences with this, but there's just so much like fakery and tomfoolery going on with this brand and social media that it's just hard to, you know what I mean? Like know what's real and what's not. But like my experience, burning skin and then strange pimples, is a total betrayal. I also have to talk about the Biodance collagen masks because this is a multi-level betrayal because this product, no matter how I used it, I could not make it work. It made my skin feel really dehydrated, which is the opposite of its claims, that it's something that is going to make your skin super plump, hydrated, really, really dewy. But my skin actually felt really tight, very dehydrated, and it actually would look red and inflamed. And I tried it every which way. And every time I would say, I don't like this product, I would get so much like intense pushback, which I said before, kind of a bit of a betrayal, and people just don't believe your personal experience, right? A lot of pushback. You're using it wrong. You need to use it on top of a moisturizer. What are you doing? Don't use it on top of a moisturizer. Use it underneath before your moisturizer. Oh, what are you doing? You need to actually use it on a plane. Literally a comment that I received on Instagram. They're only meant to be used on planes. I was like, I am not booking a ticket to go fly somewhere to test a mask. And I made a shorts on YouTube, and you could visibly see how red, inflamed my skin was. It was really, really dehydrated, irritated. There is some rose water in this product, and I believe that holding that rose water to my sensitive skin for 2.5, 3 hours is what actually caused that reaction. Oh, and that was the other thing. I used it for 2.5 hours because my skin sucks up skincare like nobody's business. But apparently I was supposed to use it for 3. Apparently the irritation was going to go away with the additional 30 minutes I was supposed to leave that on my face for. So the betrayal with this one is I don't like the product. It doesn't suit my skin. It's another one where I just feel like there are some shenanigans going on with the hype on social media about this product. And then when I just said my true experience with visible like evidence of what it did to me, I got a ton of pushback in the comments. This is, for whatever reason, this is my most popular YouTube short I have ever created. And I still weekly get comments on this video, like questioning me, telling me I did it wrong, telling me I need to like wear it when I'm doing a handstand upside down. That's how it's supposed to work. Like it's like gaslighting. It's like skincare gaslighting. I'm like, I've literally tried it a million different ways. It never works for me. And you're still telling me I'm doing something wrong. Like, it's just possible that like something just doesn't work for me. And it's also possible that it does work for you. It could betray me and be your best friend. And that's just life, baby. So this one keeps betraying me over and over. It betrayed me. It was expensive. It betrayed me the multiple times I tried to make it work. It betrayed me when I spoke my truth, and it continues to haunt me because it's one of my most popular pieces of content on YouTube. So now it's your turn. Let it all out, baby. Tell me about your skincare betrayals in the comments below. If you love this video, you want to see some more from me, definitely hit subscribe. Come join our skincare community. I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today and letting me get that off my chest. I feel relieved. I just want to encourage you to keep shining your light. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.